Okay, ignore my emails.
No worry, Hope. Sometimes things like that happen. And board members, I'm just asking you to unmute. Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello.
Thank you all for your patience as we got everyone set up. As we have known over the past year, right? Sometimes getting everyone on Zoom and everyone on the same page ready to go sometimes takes a few extra minutes. So thank you for your patience, but we're so excited to see so many new and familiar faces here as well.
I think we've got everyone from the waiting room, so we're all set. Okay.
Awesome.
Let's get started then. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Ruth Ann Hartney. I'm the Executive Director for the PBS Community Foundation, and I'd like to welcome all of you here tonight. It's our second year that we're holding our annual meeting on a virtual platform. So we do miss seeing all of you. We miss coming together live, but we really are glad that we can meet with all of you virtually on Zoom. So tonight we'd like to tell you a little bit about some of the challenges, some of the successes that we've had over this past year, and we also have some exciting news to tell you about this evening about the future of the PBS Community Foundation. We also have some featured speakers this evening. We're happy to have Teresa Giacobi-Greco and Courtney Braun. They're going to be talking to us tonight about taking some small steps, getting back into the community now that we're finally turning the corner in this COVID pandemic. So before we begin, just a few housekeeping items. We have about 30 participants on our call this evening. 30 people have joined us. So everyone will be muted, as Courtney had mentioned before. If you have a question, please feel free to use the chat section. We'll be monitoring that. We'll address most of your questions likely at the end of the meeting, but if there's a simple question, we'll certainly respond to you through the chat during the presentation. Also, keep in mind that our presentation this evening, our entire meeting is recorded. So if you wish to not be recorded, please turn off your video now. And if you can't stay for the entire meeting, it will be recorded. The full recording is going to be available on our website, as well as all the slides, so you can view it at a later time. All right, so I think we're ready to get started with our first speaker. I'd like to introduce you to the leader of the PBS Community Foundation. She's a parent of a self-directed adult. She's a strong advocate for self-direction, and we love that she works tirelessly for our organization. So I'd like to introduce you to Tal Orion. She's our board chair for the PBS Community Foundation. Tal?
Thank you, Ruthann.
You're welcome.
Hi, everyone. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome you all to our annual membership meeting. This past year has been a challenging one, yet together we have achieved the tasks that we set ourselves to accomplish. With your families and staff's help, we are now stepping into the next phase, being together again in person. This is our main goal tonight, helping you take the necessary steps. As we promised you over a year ago, when we switched our initiatives into virtual mode, we are here again in our new normal. You are the core of this organization and the reason. Hello, everybody. Okay, some glitches maybe will happen. Anyway, again, you are the core of this organization and the reason we are here. It is now my pleasure and honor to introduce my colleagues on the executive board. John Innes, our vice chair.
Hi, everyone. Good evening.
Diane Doherty, our treasurer.
Hi, everyone. Nice to see you.
Bob Savitsky, the board secretary.
Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Okay. Darlene Magito McLaughlin, the founder and major supporter of our organization.
Hi, guys. Hi, everyone.
Okay. Teresa Giacobi-Greco, past chair. Teresa?
Welcome, my friends.
Okay, good. Diane Coleman, past chair.
Hi, guys. Great to see everyone.
Barbara McGee-Tomayo, who could not be with us tonight, and Roberta Grogan.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for making time for us tonight.
Okay. Without their endless devotion and commitment, we wouldn't be here. And my profound gratitude to each one of you. I would also like to introduce and thank our advisory board, which some of them may be here with us. We have John Spinelli, maybe, our accountant. Guess not. Okay. Barbara McNamara, supposed to be here with us. Sean Gladstone is not. Ellen Prozac, Craig Cooper, and Paul Scancarelli. So again, welcome everyone and enjoy the program. I would like now to move and to turn to John Innes, who is the head of the governance committee, and we'll take it from here. John, please.
Well, thank you, Tal. Thank you very much. And I am the chair. I'm the vice chair of the board, and that's my honor to do that. I am also currently the chair of the Governance and Nominating Committee at Positive Behavior Support Community Foundation. Okay. We go ahead. And I want to tell you a little bit about what the Governance and Nominating Committee does. So in a nutshell, we provide oversight for issues having to do with the board of directors. Questions like how many members do we have? What are the qualifications? How do we find qualified, great candidates? We're going to introduce a couple of them tonight to you. That's part of the committee's job. We also recommend new people when they're needed, and we provide, once we do get new members to the board, we provide them with an orientation to their job or their role at the foundation. Okay, this is great. So that's what we do in a nutshell. Currently, we have 4 members on the committee: myself, Tal, who you just heard from, Barbara Mayo, who's not with us tonight, and Roberta Grogan, who's sitting in her backyard with her son, Matthew. So thank you for being a part of the committee, and I look forward to another great year. All right. So right now, we're going to do nominations and voting tonight, but right now, our bylaws say that we have between 8 and 15 directors, and we draw them from 5 categories. The first category is self-directed individuals, and right now, at this moment, we do not have any of those. The second category is parents or guardians of self-directed individuals. We have 3 people that fit that description, that role. The third category is community members, business owners interested in self-direction. And we have 1 of those. And the fourth category is professionals, either from academia, human services, the law, medical, or business professions. We have 2 individuals that fill that role. And the fifth category is employees of organizations that support self-directed individuals. And currently we have 3 people that are filling those roles. Okay. Tonight, it's my great pleasure to introduce 2 new prospective board members to the community. And number 1, the first candidate is Freedom Riley. Freedom's on the call with us tonight. And the second one is Matthew Grogan. And I think if they're not unmuted, Courtney, maybe we should unmute them at this time. And I'm looking to see if that's happened. I see that Freedom is unmuted and Matthew is with, there you go. So everybody, welcome Freedom and Matthew as prospective board members tonight.
Welcome. Welcome.
Hi.
And Freedom, I'm going to go in turn. I'm not going to take too much of your time. I really appreciate you coming out tonight. I'm really excited. I hope that your involvement with Positive Behavior Support Community Foundation is rewarding. Freedom and Matthew have agreed to be on the call tonight. And I don't know if anybody from the community has any questions for either of these two individuals. We can take a couple of minutes, or if either one of you, Freedom or Matthew, feels like you would like to say anything at this point in time, I give you that opportunity. Not to put you on the spot, but Hope Lepstein has a question. Is it okay if I read that? I think that's the thing to do. So Hope, thank you for the question. This is for Freedom. And it says, Freedom, are you a participant? And I think she's meaning self-directed individual.
Yes.
Yes. Very good. Matthew, of course, would you like to answer the same question? I'm sure somebody has that.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm also a self-directed individual.
Okay, great. And
What's your favorite part of PBSCF? What's it, Courtney?
I'm actually saying it, but so I don't know if like trying to like I don't know if like I'm newer to the foundation. Which I've been with the foundation since I don't know if I joined the foundation a while ago.
Yeah,
So
what's your favorite part? Courtney's asking you.
I'm not really too sure yet. Because I'm basically a little bit more newer to the board. Like I'm a little bit more
Doing activities.
with activities and
Golf. Are you working on the golf?
yeah, I'm working on golf tournament too.
yeah, well, Matt, I know that we've seen you at a number of our initiatives, and you've always been appreciated for your support and your involvement with those. So thank you for that.
Sorry.
You're welcome.
Can I ask a question, Freedom?
Sure.
Can you just, in a couple of sentences, tell people what your interest in the foundation is and what made you want to be a part of the board?
Okay, so my interest in why I want to be a part of the foundation.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, my interests I'm into the paranormal. I like anime stuff.
Oh,
And I like things of the unusual.
okay.
And
Those are your personal interests. Is there any particular thing you'd like the community to know about your desire to be a part of the board?
Yep, I think it's a good opportunity for me, and I think I can go places with it.
Very good. And how long have you been self-directed, Freedom?
I'm sorry, but I didn't keep track.
Okay, but it's been a good while, correct?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Okay. I'm going to take any last call for questions from the community or from other board members at this time.
June 3rd. Go ahead. Tell them.
Okay.
On June 3rd, guys, there's gonna be a golf there's gonna be a mini golf tournament held over at Sharon's been running. The Western Huntington Station at the sports station, and everyone's invited if they want to.
Registration is open.
It's open. Registration's open right now. Actually.
That's great, Matthew. So if you want to meet Matthew in person, you can go to the mini golf, right?
Or you can come here anytime you want.
Or come here. I'll wear the panda mask.
Well, thank you so much, both of you, for coming and putting yourself in the community to take questions. If there's none other, let's go ahead and move the next slide, if you would, Courtney. So at this time, I'm going to talk about the business before us tonight. And the first piece of business is nomination and election of Foundation Board of Directors. The directors serve 2-year terms and can serve any number of consecutive terms. And the slide says current BOD members eligible for re-election. And that's, of course, as many times as you go over a slide, you always miss a typo, because we do also have our 2 prospective members on this list. And the names here are Freedom Riley, Tal Orion, John Ennis, myself, Diane Dougherty, Diane Coleman, Matthew Grogan, Barbara Mayo, Darlene Megiddo McLaughlin, Teresa Giacobbe Greco, and Robert Savitsky. At this time, I'd like to present and call for a motion, call on my secretary, this as a slate of board directors to be nominated and voted on.
Okay. Thank you, John. My name is Bob Savitsky, and I am the secretary of the organization. And as secretary, I cast a ballot in favor of nominating all the candidates to be elected to serve another term. All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? The ayes have it.
The ayes have it. Welcome, congratulations. We have one other piece of business. In the next slide, we're going to be talking about one person that is up for re-election as an officer. Okay, Court? So I'm calling on the nomination election for the Board of Directors officers. Now, the officers' positions by our bylaws are the chairperson, the vice chair, the secretary, and the treasurer. And the officers serve 2-year terms and can serve 2 consecutive terms, but there is an exception, and that is for the treasurer. In order to maintain continuity over financial reporting and things like that, the treasurer can serve a number more than 2 consecutive terms. Of those 4 positions, the only officer that is up for re-election at this point is Diane Dougherty, our treasurer. All other officer terms will be up at next year's annual meeting. So at this time, I would like to call on our secretary to vote for the officer. I know my terminology is not right, but we're working on it.
We'll muddle through. Okay, thank you, John. All right, so as secretary, I enter into nomination and call for a vote for Diane Dougherty to serve another term as treasurer. All in favor? Aye.
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 All against? The ayes have it again.
I noticed that Diane didn't raise her hand, so.
He abstained.
Well,
I wasn't sure if I was
congratulations.
supposed to.
Congratulations to all the board members, particularly to Freedom and Matthew. We're so grateful and glad to have you on board. And congratulations as well to Diane. We really appreciate the job that you've done as treasurer, and I'm excited that you'll be able to continue in that role. So
Thank you very much. Thank you. I love being a part of it.
Very nice. Okay.
John?
I don't want to see that slide. Let's see what the next one is. I think that was meant to be cut out. Is that the last slide in mine? Courtney?
You actually have a few more in here.
Yeah, that one was supposed to be cut out. That's my note to myself.
Sure, here we go. Skip.
There
There you
we
go.
go. Thank you very much.
Sure.
So the composition of the board of directors right now, after the election that just took place, is we have 11 directors drawn from the 5 categories I mentioned earlier. And here's the detail on that. We have 2 self-directed individuals. Freedom Riley, Matthew Grogan, thank you so much. And quickly, before we move on, and this is me riffing here, but since we had Sean Nitz involved in our foundation for a number of years, and since Sean's untimely passing, it's been hard to find somebody that had the desire and the availability. So I am so excited to have that hole in our board filled. And I think we have 2 very good people. So thank you both. I can't say it enough. And when I see you in person at mini golf, Matthew, and perhaps Freedom, I will certainly say the same thing to you. So thank you. Back to the categories. Right now, we have 3 individuals serving in the roles of parents or guardians of self-directed individuals. And we have 1 individual that's a community member. That's Mr. Savitsky. And what else do we have here? The academia, human services, law, medical, and business professions. We have 2 people represented. And employees of organizations that support self-directed individuals. That's 3 people from that category. So that totals to 11. We'll go to the next slide and I'll talk about, that means we have, according to our current bylaws, we have 4, count them, 4 openings for more directors, and they can be of the categories that indicated here. We have room on the current configuration for 1 more self-directed individual. We have room for 2 more community members or business owners. And we have room for 1 other professional from academia, human services, so on and so forth. That is 4 possible slots open for board positions. Let's go ahead. If you are interested, I hope that you will consider contacting myself at the email that's on the screen here. And I also want you to know that a number of our board members served in volunteer capacities with the foundation, or they got involved with one of the existing committees. And the committees include fundraising, programming, membership, and more. So everybody on this call, I would like you to please consider joining us as we strive to improve the experience of self-directed individuals on Long Island. And I hope to hear from you soon. And if you have questions, we'll have some question and answer period later on. But I do believe that is it. I wish we could unmute everybody for applause for our new members. I don't know if that's possible.
I can do it at the end. It's a little tricky right now, but I am seeing virtual applause signs. I'm seeing people
Yay,
physically
that's
applaud.
the virtual
So
applause. Thank you very
the
much
energy
for
is
your
there.
attention, and thank you for your participation tonight.
Okay, so I get to speak next. For those of you who don't know me yet, I hope to get to meet you hopefully at that dinner dance, which I think we're trying to do live this year. So I had to actually check with John. Freedom, just like you, a lot of years have gone by. I wasn't actually sure how many years the PBS Community Foundation has been in existence, but the answer is 9. So we are in our 9th year. We are closing in on year number 10, a decade in existence. It is amazing how fast the time has gone. And the foundation really has evolved each and every year with some new people, some new initiatives, some new things going on. I think it's really been a very positive trajectory for all of us. And one of the things that we began discussing at our board meeting was, you know, we want to have roots, and PBS really is the roots. The founding fathers and mothers of the foundation are really PBS, staff, many of whom are still here today. But we also have wings, and we want the foundation to have the opportunity to really evolve and emerge with its own identity. So one of the conversations we've been having is about names, and does it really make sense to keep the name, to change the name? It's been the subject of discussion for more than a year, and we have closed in on a solution, and I have the great privilege and honor of sharing that with you tonight. So we will, beginning in just a few minutes, actually. Formally, we did file the paperwork. We got our positive response. So we will be adopting a new name for our initiatives, and we will retain positive as the roots from PBS. And we are going to really celebrate our newest positions in the foundation have been our community connectors, right? And our community connectors, Sharon and Courtney, you know, have really moved this ball forward in terms of, you know, new directions, new initiatives, new energy. So we will be now called Positive Community Connections, which is super exciting. We have retained our old flower logo, but now that flower is leaning in new directions with community members that are climbing aboard each and every day. And we will be the Positive Community Connections. So it's a really exciting journey it's been, and a really exciting point that we're at. And I think that you're going to see the remaining slides very colorful and vibrant to really represent all the new directions. So PBS will be here tomorrow and in the future and all the way down the pike. We will continue to support in any way and every way all of the initiatives, but you guys have found your wings and you are now the Positive Community Connections. So congratulations. Okay, I think if there's any questions for me, I'm happy to take them, John. I don't know how we're managing that.
So I think we are going to come back to overall questions later, Darlene, and
Great.
I am
Okay.
taking note of the questions that are coming in, and also private messaging our board and who they would best correspond with so that they can prepare an answer. But next up, we
Awesome.
do have Diane Doherty.
Great. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Darlene.
Hi, everyone. I'm Diane Doherty, the treasurer for Positive Community Connections. I work directly with our accountant, John Spinelli, and our executive director, Ruth Ann Hartney, to report on the financial standing of our nonprofit. The IRS requires that all nonprofits file an annual Form 990, and our most recent Form 990 is available on our website for review. Next, please. So I know numbers are not always fun, but we have to report on them. And here, this is I loaded for you a balance sheet comparison. And here, this is a balance sheet comparison for the past 2 years. The report represents a decrease in the foundation's cash. The main reason for the decrease is that although all of our in-person fundraising events that were scheduled for last year were all canceled due to the pandemic, Positive Community Connections continue to provide our programs virtually and therefore continued our salaries and stipends. To accomplish this, we had to draw from our financial reserves. Next. So here's a quick slide on a comparison of income. I have compared the last 2 years of income. Again, you can see a reduction, and the reduction is a direct result of the cancellation of all in-person events. Working through the pandemic, we organized our special fundraising events virtually. This did help meet our expenditures associated with our programs and events. Next slide, please. So this slide represents our expenses so that we offset against our income. This report shows an increase in some expenses. The board made a conscious effort to reduce expenses in all areas, including salaries and stipends. However, Positive Community Connections also committed to bringing as much socialization as we could to all our friends. As the saying goes, the show must go on, and it takes resources to accomplish that, as well as incredible leaders. So as you can see, this is this is my analysis of our nonprofit. And again, that is available for review on our website. So I would like to thank you for your time this evening. I'm sure there'll be questions later, but at this time, I believe I turn it over to Robert Savitsky.
I don't know if Bob is muted.
Okay, let's try that again. Hi, everybody. My name is Bob Savitsky, and in addition to being the secretary of the organization, I'm a member of the membership committee along with Diane Coleman and Ruth Ann. And today we're going to share some additional important news about changes that are coming to our organization. Diane Coleman is going to talk about the history of the organization, how we got started, and the growth that we have enjoyed over the years. And then she will talk about the issues this growth has created and how we're going to address this by introducing memberships. And then Ruth Ann is going to share some details about our new membership model with you, and we'll introduce the next speaker. So Diane, thank you.
Hi, thank you. So, you know, we started in our living rooms, in our kitchens many years ago with just volunteers and a handful of self-directed individuals. So you'll see popping up some pictures of when we got started. We now meet in the community at over 10 locations, both in Nassau and Suffolk County. And there are initiative leaders, community connectors, and we have a full-time executive director. In the past, the costs were minimal. There were few participants and everyone volunteered their time. Fundraisers and donations covered these minimal costs. Times have changed and we must adapt. The earliest participants are still involved and are getting older now, and new participants are added each year, and participation is growing exponentially. Programs have been very well received and attendance has been growing. However, as participation has grown, so has expenses, such as space rental, insurances, and staff pay. And because of this growth and the pandemic, we need to build out our infrastructure and staff. We must upgrade our computer systems we must upgrade our computer platform so that we can do contact tracing and provide enhanced security for all our participants and leaders. And as a board, we have decided that in addition to continuing our grassroots efforts supporting self-directed individuals so that they can be involved with and participate in their communities, we are establishing membership to a greater and larger population. To accomplish this, we are going to institute paid membership. Members will be able to participate in any of our initiatives for free and will be entitled to discounts for many of our events. There will also be special member-only events and perks for the charter members. For example, our first member-only event will be a dance class where we will be learning one of the dances that we will be doing at our annual dinner dance. And keep an eye on your email for more enhancements in the future. Membership will be open to anyone who wants to support our organization and is not limited only to people just people with self-directed plans. Most individuals with self-directed budgets are expected to be able to receive reimbursement on their membership line of their budget. Membership marks a new chapter in our organization's growth and maturity, and I'm sure you will share with our enthusiasm as you learn more about it over the next few months. And here's our Executive Director, Ruth Ann, to fill you in on some details.
Okay, next slide, Courtney, go ahead. Thanks, great. Okay, so as you've heard, we've spent, as a committee talking about membership, a lot of time meeting, discussing. We've surveyed our community. We've been looking at the structure of other organizations to plan out our membership and make it a really great opportunity for all of you. We love our initiatives, our popular initiatives. I'll just name them one more time: Big Time Glee, Crafting Connection, Nassau Voice, Yoga Without Boundaries, Midweek Meetups, and back this year, the Community Garden. We want all of these initiatives to be sustainable for well into the future. And as you've heard, that they've all been growing, especially during the pandemic. So I believe this speaks to the value of those connections and the opportunities that we can provide as an organization. So as Diane said, in the beginning of September, All of those initiatives will continue to be free to individuals at Positive Community Connections who have a membership. And we're excited to let you know that those same individual members are also going to get special access to some members only events. We're talking about doing dances, parties, other activities, and more. So these individual members are really our VIPs. Individual members are going to be getting special discounts to our other fee-based activities, which those are some things that you'd recognize, like cosplay, or the Applebee's breakfast, or the murder mystery evening, things like that, as well as the annual dinner dance. And our individual members are going to get the first access to the new Positive Community Connections merchandise. So wait until you see some of the fun things that we have in mind coming for you. So it's our special offer to you today. Any of you on the call, we hope that you'll become a charter member of Positive Community Connections. What that means is if you sign up during the months of July or August, you'll get those 2 months for free. And then starting in September, you would move on to our individual membership, which is a payment of $50 a month. And as Diane said, we expect that to be reimbursable through a self-directed budget. It has actually already been approved by some of the FIs. So if you're a charter member, you're really helping us to shape the organization and what our membership will look like. You're going to be the ones that are really part of the growth into this next level of positive communication, Positive Community Connections. Courtney, next slide. Friends and family. So we've really considered everyone that's been with us throughout the years as we've been the PBS Community Foundation. We've considered you to be like a family. So we hope that the friends and family of our new individual members will continue to support us as we move on to Positive Community Connections. So therefore, we have a special membership for you. For just $100 a year, friends and family would also gain access to those special events that I was telling you about, the special members only events. And the friends and family would get the same discount to our other fee-based events that we were talking about. Again, such as cosplay, puzzle break, Karen's, different events like that, as well as new merchandise. And we are also going to be holding for friends and family a special annual networking event, which I know that all of you have realized how valuable that can be, that we maintain and we increase our support networks, especially throughout challenging times as we've had this past year. Courtney, go ahead, next slide. We are also welcoming those who are professionals who work with self-directed individuals, and this membership is for just $25 a year. We'd like you to participate, again, having those networking opportunities with our individuals, friends, and families, and with each other. And again, another wonderful benefit that we'd like to offer is that we can give you some training opportunities, training and development opportunities through either webinars or workshops. So we would love for professionals to support our organization now as Positive Community Connections as well. Next slide, Courtney. Finally, we're also looking for businesses. Of course, we always, we love our business partners. We love to be a part of the local community and connect with local businesses, but we would love to meet some new business partners that also support the mission of Positive Community Connections. So if you know of any businesses, please certainly reach out to us. We would love to connect with them. And we really hope to expand in this area as well. A little bit later on in the presentation, you're going to hear a little bit more about some of our business sponsorship packages, and we'll be getting more information about that out to you as well. Okay, next slide, Courtney. Finally, we're excited. We're really excited about what the future holds for us, and we hope that you're excited about that too. Since we've persevered through such a challenging time. We really just want to look forward now, and I'm excited. I'm confident that the future looks bright for positive community connections. I hope that all of you will take advantage of our charter membership specials for the summer, and please do keep an eye out for more information about our membership in the weeks ahead. So with that, I'm going to turn over to our next presenter, who is Courtney Braun. And Courtney is going to give you an update about some of our initiatives on behalf of the program committee.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Oh, I'm seeing so many waves, so many smiling faces. That's what it's all about. For most of the people here, this is what it's like to join our initiatives right now. A bunch of smiling faces, eager to see one another and ready to hit the ground running. So quickly, I'm just going to overview basically what's going on right now from our program. So we have seen continued high attendance numbers for our initiatives meeting virtually. There is no doubt that we have been able to welcome friends and relationships from all over Long Island. We are seeing an increase in our Suffolk-based initiatives with friends from Nassau, and an increase in our Nassau initiatives, such as Nassau Voice with friends from Suffolk. So it's really a great opportunity for us to be able to continue to network and build those relationships with one another. And I thank you all who have been attending those and trying something new, because there really is something for everyone. So about a month ago, we sent out a reopening survey through Google Form, through email, and we are very happy to say that a lot of those responses were positive, that people are feeling ready to go back into the community. People are understanding of any, protocols that we may be following, and most importantly, ready to make new friends and see old faces as well. So this summer, we will be moving to in-person Yoga Without Boundaries, in-person midweek meetups, and in-person crafting connection this summer. So yoga will be held at Massapequa PAL, which is a great location and not too far from where yoga was previously held. So that will be outside, and we do ask anyone who is interested in attending yoga to please purchase your own yoga mat. You can get some really, really relatively affordable ones, such as at Five Below or so on. We're just trying to make sure that we are not continuing to share materials with anyone who may be attending. If for any reason that becomes difficult for you or a little bit financially tough, please reach out to me and I'll see if there's something that we can do to make sure that you are set up for the best success with attending. Midweek Meetup will be taking place at varying public outdoor locations. We are working on the schedule as we speak. We're talking about a lot of great parks and great beaches that are going on. And most importantly, accessing our community, which is what our goal is to be able to do here at Positive Community Connections. Wow, that was my first time saying it out loud, and it was just as fun as I thought it would be. And lastly, we have crafting, which will be meeting 2 times this summer. So we're going to do once in July and once in August. And that will be at the outdoor area of St. Thomas of Canterbury Church, which is located in Smithtown, where we have previously met before. Really quickly, I would just like to give a special shout out to Massapequa PAL as well as to St. Thomas of Canterbury for continuously welcoming us with open arms and asking what they can do for us in return. We're really grateful for those relationships there. We are very, very, very excited to announce that we have 3 community gardens which will be returning. We were very fortunate enough to be chosen to receive an Autism Speaks grant, which has been able to sponsor those for us. So we are going to have our garden again in Green Lawn with our incredible leaders, Natalie and Daniel. I cannot speak highly enough about them. Their knowledge of so many different things, even their chickens. If you joined us at some point in time, we got to meet their whole slew of chicken family that they have and everything like that. And you can really tell that they're passionate not only about working with us as a foundation, but it's about the education as what's going on as well. We are going to have a location out east in Southold, and that is going to be hosted by Tara Greco Glascott and Brian Glascott. So Teresa's daughter and her husband are ready to take us on in Southold and be able to lead us in that area. And we also are looking forward to doing gardening workshops in Nassau County. We are still working directly with the location on the fine details, but once they are announced, we will be able to share everything. Something that I do want to say about the gardens, something that I think is really, really important and puts, again, that community back in Positive Community Connections, is that anything that is grown or harvested in our gardens is given directly back to those in need in our community. And I think that that really goes full circle. I see Gina clapping. Really goes for full circle with who we stand for and what we want to do and how we want to be able to give back. So if you have never joined a garden before, they are so much fun. Bring your comfy clothes, put on sunscreen, bring water because it does get hot, and we can really see things come to life, right? As we were talking about earlier with our flower leaning in new directions, we have the opportunity to even do that ourselves. A quick note is that all attendees and leaders will be required to follow CDC and New York State guidelines following distancing and mask protocols. So we know that things are constantly changing and so on. And what we will do is on our behalf, make you as prepared as possible and be sure that we are set up for the most successful and the most safe meetups and events that will be taking place. And lastly, in the event of bad weather, the initiative would move to Zoom as opposed to canceling during, rescheduling and stuff like that. There have been times in the past where saying, oh no, what are we going to do? It's going to pour. Hey, we have this great platform that we would be able just to send out a notice through email and everyone would be able to join as they have been throughout the past. And before I pass it on, I just want to give a shout out to all of our initiative leaders here. If we can give a virtual round of applause, even if you're clapping at home or cheering. The past year has truly shown its ups and downs, but I have never felt more supported by a community and by a team as with those initiative leaders, regardless of what was going on in personal lives and day-to-day work lives. They showed up there with a positive attitude, a smiling face, and we were able to welcome so many people here. And that's something that I do not want to go unnoticed. So that is Dan Elfawal for Yoga Without Boundaries. That is Lauren Guerin and Morgan Wellwood for the Crafting Connection. That is Diane Coleman and Catherine Maloney for the NASA Voice. My friend Ross and I, Ross Whalen, over at Big Time Glee, and Midweek Meetup, who we have, again, Morgan Wellwood and Monica Doherty. So special shout out to that group of people who have gone above and beyond, really bringing in that source. Oh, hey, Dan. What's up? I just saw you. Thanks for everything. I always appreciate you. So we look forward to that. And one thing that I will say is, we always want to know what's going on. So we want to know the things that you're interested in doing in the community. Hey, listen, there's this great place down the road that I found out. Wouldn't it be cool if we could do a midweek meetup there? Send us an email. We would love to see if we would be able to make it happen. And we do look forward to hopefully being able to further explore what's going on here on Long Island, having those meetups at different places. Hope said you can't garden on Zoom. Well, Hope, while that's true, I'm sure that we could possibly do something while we're doing like an educational video for a few minutes or talking about what we want to plant or something like that. Gina is asking, will yoga still be on Zoom? So yoga will be on Zoom until the end of June. And then starting in July, it will be moving to in-person at Massapequa PAL. And that is something that all of our initiatives will be on virtual until the end of June and starting in July there. And Gina just said American Sign Language. Gina, I know you keep telling us that you want more sign language, and we are definitely trying our best to see who we can pull in from the community to be able to help us in that and give something interesting to you guys that you want to do. And Teresa said, talk to me, Hope. So Hope, send Teresa a message. I'm sure that you guys can brainstorm some great ideas that are going on there. Gina, I see your hand raised, and I'm sorry, but right now we're just going to answer questions in the chat. And then when we move on to the Q&A in the end, if we have time, I can definitely come back to you. Dan, you're getting some shout outs in there as well. So thank you all for allowing me to quickly go through just the great things that are going on. And I'm always here as a resource. So please, please, please reach out. And I'm excited to grow together with positive community connections. And I'm going to go incognito again. So see you guys on the flip side.
So Courtney, I believe we have our next presenter is Sharon Borgia. Sharon couldn't be with us at the meeting today, so we do have a short video. Sharon's going to tell us a little bit about what's going on with the fundraising committee.
Awesome. I'm going to get started sharing this. If I can just get a thumbs up that you guys can all hear this. I didn't even start yet. You can hear me, but not the video. So once I started, if you give a thumbs up, it just lets me know that we're all on the same page.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having us at today's membership meeting. We're really happy to be here. We wanted to take a few minutes to go over some of the amazing fundraisers that we have planned for the year. And we also want to talk a little bit about our newsletter and a little bit about our sponsorship and donation packages. So one of our big events for the year, which we really love to have your participation with, is our annual golf outing. It's actually our 5th annual. The golf outing is going to be happening on Monday, June 21st at the Huntington Country Club in Huntington. We would really like for you to be able to get involved. The most important way is by coming. Finding golfers, finding people who are interested in playing golf, who would love to get out on this beautiful course. We're also going to have a silent auction attached to that, so even if you can't come to the actual event, you can still be part of the silent auction and get some amazing prizes. In parallel to that, we decided to do a mini golf outing. The mini golf outing is going to happen on June 3rd, which is a Thursday, from 5:30 to 8 o'clock at Station Sports in Huntington Station. It's going to be an amazing day. We'll have trick shots, some fun little ideas for raffles, so please come out to that event as well. We have July 30th, one of our favorite events. We are doing the Ducks baseball game fundraiser. We are not going to be having a picnic this year, but our PBSCF special singers are going to be singing the national anthem. We have Care In Across America going on. Both Scott and Tom have been working very hard on this event. It was highly successful last year, and we have big plans for it for this year. So we have lots of musicians from all over America who are playing some of their amazing songs, doing covers and originals. We did have this wonderful opportunity to be on a podcast for this podcast called Putting You on the Spot. You can check out their information. There is a link on our website for that. And we're just telling a little bit about Karen and really hyping up PBS Community Foundation. We are going to be doing the annual dinner dance this year. Yes! We are so excited about that. It is our favorite thing of the year, and we are so excited that we're still going to be able to do that this year. It's going to be Thursday, November 11th. We have to get started planning, and we need to start now. So if you are interested in being part of our planning committee, please contact me, Sharon, SHARIN, at pbscommunityfoundation.org. I would love to have you volunteer and be involved in any way that you feel fit. We did want to talk a little bit about the fundraising newsletter. So there's so many amazing things going on, not only the highlighted events that I just talked about, but other great events that are popping in throughout the year, and we want to make sure you know all about them. So to do that, we decided to do a monthly fundraising newsletter. If you want to be part of that fundraising newsletter, maybe you have a talent for writing or you are great making flyers, we'd love to have you be a part of that and maybe take it on and spearhead it for us. So please contact me again for that information and join on. So if you know somebody who maybe is in college or past college but is really interested in doing an internship, we are looking for some interns, hopefully long-term, that can be part of the fundraising committee. They would help us with marketing, social media, advertising, and even just development of these events. Lastly, I would like to speak to you a little bit about some amazing opportunities we created for local businesses to connect directly with the foundation. We are calling them our donating partnerships and our financial sponsors. These programs allow businesses to either give in goods, services, or expertise, or through financial donations. As part of donating and becoming a partner, they'll receive advertising and other connective opportunities for their business. This is a great way for us to expand into the greater community. If you know any businesses that would be interested, or anyone who has given in the past to the foundation and might be interested in doing so again, please contact me. Allow me to give you the information that you can share and have those partners connect with us. I thank you again for allowing us to be here to speak about all of our amazing events and everything we have planned for 2021 and beyond. Thank you.
So I know that was a little bit tricky to hear. I always tell Sharon, you're such a great public speaker. I love hearing you speak. and then her voice is always very quiet on her audio. So these slides will be shared with everyone again for future reference if you needed to go through anything. And Sharon's contact information is right there. Teresa.
So I wanted to give you guys a quick introduction, Courtney, if that's okay.
Yep.
Ready? So you've moved the slide ahead for our feature presentation. So the moment everyone's been waiting for. We have our featured speakers for this evening. I'd like to introduce to you Teresa Giacobbe-Greco. She's again one of the founding board members and past chair of Positive Community Connections. Teresa has decades of experience working in this field. She's a valued leader at PBSCF as well. And Courtney, as you know, is one of our community connectors. She's the chair of the program committee. She's big time Glee leader. In addition to all of that stuff, she's also a graduate student for social work at Stony Brook and works for PBSCF as well. So we're so glad to have them here tonight to talk to us a little bit about taking some small steps to return from the pandemic. So thank you, ladies. Take it away.
Thank you. Well, I don't know. I will speak for myself and say I am extremely excited. We have the new normal and we have a new name. I love how it rolled off of Courtney's mouth. I don't know if it'll be as easy for me. We'll all have to think about how we are going to practice positive community connections. PCC. I'd like to challenge both Glee and Voice to maybe come up with a little ditty, maybe something with a tune, maybe a new song about PCC. I think it will help us all. But I am very excited tonight. We want to talk a little bit about the post-pandemic positive outlook and how we're all going to ease back into our community. And hopefully we'll all be comfortable in our own skin and make our own decisions and advocate for ourselves on ways in which we could do that. And, everybody is very, very different. I think going in slowly, I went to visit my friend Barbara McNamara. We met in Panera a few weeks ago, and it was so much fun to see a few folks that I know sitting outside of Panera, deciding how they were going to go in. And I thought that was awesome because that's a small step. They wanted to see, was everyone wearing masks? What was going on? How crowded it was? And I think that we have to remember that for some people during this time, virtually, it was really easy for them. For other people, I know my own brother said to me yesterday, I feel like I like being a hermit. And that made me a little sad. So we've definitely all had challenges. And, we have to say, okay, we have our challenges. How are we going to move forward? Okay, Court, next slide. So we know we all have challenges. And some of the professionals in the field and research back us up on that. Research on past pandemics show that people with diverse abilities may experience intensified feelings of loneliness in response to physical distancing, making it even harder to access medical supplies and more challenging as resources become scarce. Okay, Court. Now the good news. I feel that we all pay attention to how we're feeling and our friends and all of our emotions. And that really is good news. Okay, Court. So we really tonight wanted to talk to all of you. So please, as I've said before in the chat, hang in there with us. Courtney and I are going to speak for a little bit, but then what we really want to do is have all of you grab your desserts or your dinner, perhaps, if you haven't eaten yet, and unmute yourself at the end, and we want to hear what your small steps are and what you're looking forward to. We have some guest panelists today. With us, we have Nicholas Pusateri and his mom, Christine, and I'd like to introduce them. And they volunteered just to talk a little bit and answer some questions about their challenges and their experiences. So welcome, Nicholas and Christine.
Hi, everybody. How are you?
Hello.
How are you? And you're listening to all of this, and I hope that you're saying, oh my goodness, there's so many wonderful things that I want to do, right? What do you think, Nicholas? Anything you were interested in?
In trying out?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. I hope one of them is the gardens, because I'm a master gardener. So we're going to have a lot of fun, do some rock painting, some painting with different kinds of soil. It's not just pulling weeds, that's for sure. All right. Okay, Court, let's see what we have. Nicholas actually put together some slides. So thank you, Nicholas. So I'm going to ask you, what was to you the best part of COVID and this pandemic? What worked for you?
What happened? What was good?
Oh, I loved HBO Max and puzzles.
Nice.
Plenty of good things to do like that.
Oh, cool. You know, I'm not familiar with HBO Max. I did a lot of Netflix and binge watching in the beginning. What's HBO Max?
It's like Netflix.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Except it mostly has WB.
I was going to ask Nicholas, more Warner Brothers and Disney? Because I know that's your kind of stuff. I know it makes you happy.
Yeah. Courtney and I both kind of go in for the Disney. Well, okay, Court. I love that slide. I love that color. So we know that we all had challenges, and we know that we're not all in the same boat. We're all experiencing the same pandemic, but we're all in like different vessels, right? We're all experiencing things so differently. So for you, what was the worst of this pandemic and of COVID-19 and experiencing it?
FaceTime and quarantine.
Okay. So why was quarantine so tough? Who was in your bubble?
My parents.
Okay, and that must have been fun in the beginning, but what happened after months and months and months?
My mother decided that I needed FaceTime.
Okay.
And I was suggesting that next, something even crazier was going to happen.
Oh no, so what was that?
Never mind.
Oh, maybe you want to have an individual chat about that.
Tell me later, Nicholas.
Why did you find FaceTime difficult and unpleasant? That's interesting because some people hated it and some people loved it. Nicholas, why did you dislike it?
Because it was becoming too dangerous for my technology.
It was draining his battery power, and he felt that that was a problem. However, you know, it would be funny because Nick, you would leave your staff, because he would be FaceTiming his staff, and he would leave his staff like in other rooms. And then, and then the staff would text me like, hey, we're still in the living room. Is Nick here? And of course, I'm working at that time. And I'm like, let me go see. Go down. I'm like, nope, he's not in there, you know? So,
yeah. Well, we definitely all had challenges with FaceTime, and you hear all those funny stories about like the guy who got up and took his computer into the bathroom, and then the woman who forgot that she had her underwear on, and all these interesting things that people had to think about. What's appropriate? What do I look like? Let's be careful here. But I think the plus is we've all gotten so much better at this. I know I have. We definitely have. Christine, what was the most challenging for you and for your family?
I think, you know, my mom had COVID. My sister's an emergency physician
Mm.
at LIJ. So like we had the family dynamic of like, okay, we really can't see grandma other than through a window. My sister really had to social distance because she was exposed frequently. But I think the biggest dynamic was like, all right, we're all eating dinner together. Let's all make dinner. Let's all make lunch. And it's like, it was a lot of quality time together. But sometimes it's hard, you know, and I was pretty thankful that everybody got through it. My daughter was a rock star, Nicholas was a rock star, but it's hard for everybody. You know, and we see now, like sometimes people hesitate leaving more, you know, like, wait, now I can go out, you know, I can do things. And I think now we're up to that part where it's sort of harder to figure those pieces out.
Yeah, thanks, Christine. And Nicholas, that's what we're talking about tonight. So I really hope that everybody, either you can put it in the chat now, but if you have any questions for Christine or Nicholas, please wait till the end when we all unmute or put them in the chat. And, you know, I'm excited because I got to talk to Christine a few times. She's a new friend and I'm just meeting Nicholas. So, you know, that it makes it easier. And again, this is going to be our new normal. So thanks, guys. We'll see you at the end. Thanks, Nicholas.
Great job.
Okay, so let's talk about some good news. So we are all following the news. And as of this morning, the infection rate on Long Island is continuously going down. As of today, it's below 0.8%, which is just amazing. The other great news is that New York State has adopted new CDC mask guidelines for vaccinated people. And I'm sure it's confusing. Where are we going to be able to wear a mask? Someone said, well, you don't have to in Starbucks, but you're going to have to, you know, in this place. And just like when we started talking, we all need to be really careful that we are finding out before we go somewhere, what are their guidelines? What is Target if I'm going to shop in Target? So it's going to mean a little more research on our part. The good news is also many of our friends and families are now vaccinated. I was amazed. I gave a bridal shower for my daughter, and out of 40 people, 38 of them were vaccinated. So I think that that's something we're going to see as we go on. With the warmer weather, we could enjoy outdoor safe activities, and we can now start taking these small little steps to re-enter our communities. And the thing to remember is we're going to go at our own pace. I have to be honest, I was a little nervous. The first, you know, then we were PBS Community Foundation, but our first PCC, Positive Community Connections, speed friending was in Massapequa a few weeks ago. I was nervous. First of all, I thought I was going to blow away. It was a really windy day over there at Massapequa Pal, but we were wearing masks. We just weren't quite sure. So we're all in the same boat. Okay, Court. How can we start taking these small little steps? Well, we need to ask ourselves, what are we comfortable with? We need to have open communication. We need to practice asking our friends, family, and DSPs, have you been fully vaccinated? You know, and it's funny because a friend said to me, well, isn't that being obnoxious when we ask people? You have to be an advocate for yourselves. It's okay, I feel, to politely ask someone, are you fully vaccinated? It might not be as polite if someone says no to ask them why, because those things might be very personal. It might be a medical condition, something. So I think that advocating and asking people is a good idea. Ask friends before you see them. Are you going to be wearing a mask? Ask yourself, what type of activities are you comfortable with? And always check first regarding guidelines about where you're going. The other thing is, I don't know if anyone, some of you have been in self-directed services back when we used to call it CSS years ago. And circle meetings at that point, where we weren't talking about as many formal things. I say, let's go back to when you know you have a circle meeting, maybe advocate and say, could we talk about small steps? Could we have a post-pandemic circle meeting? And maybe with the folks who care about you and your family, you could work out some plans. And feel free, by the way, Courtney and I are going to post the link to this presentation on our Community Connections, our PCC website, and you could print some of the worksheets and hopefully you'll do them with some of your circle of support. Okay, Court. So how do we start taking these small steps? Well, I challenge all of you, and I'm going to do this myself. Challenge yourself to contact 2 to 5 old friends a week just to say hi. And you could do this through social media, maybe a text, a phone call, an email, and more. Maybe there's people you haven't really seen during this pandemic. Go through your contacts. Sometimes contact information for people changes. Don't be discouraged if they don't respond immediately. Look at yearbooks or photo albums. It's great to look back at memories, and then maybe it'll remind you who you haven't seen. Some people who have Facebook will go back in their Facebook and look at memories or what was I doing 2 years ago today. That happens to me all the time. I'll get a little message, what I was doing, and I think, wow, life was a lot different before the pandemic. Pick up the phone with all the changing technology. Sometimes we forget that phones are used to make phone calls. And then think about doing that rather than maybe, Nicholas, your least favorite thing, right? FaceTime. Okay, Court. So making new friends. I got a really nice text from someone after our speed friending in Massapequa. And they said they really appreciated getting back out there because they met 2 people that they really thought they had a lot in common with and they'd like to be friends with, but they felt it was safe because they felt that there were those of us there who knew these people. So I think with making new friends, that now we're looking at, it's not virtual, right? We're reopening slowly. We need to be safe. So we could ask ourselves, how do we know these people? Have we met them before? And then think about clubs. What clubs am I a part of? What is there for a reopening plan in those clubs? Courtney told you tonight, Glee is going to be 2 times over the summer. So we need to get that plan. And then how do we get it? Also, virtual or small meetups will still be an option. So I just think that's great news. And so many people have said, I don't think we'll ever go back. That's why there's a new normal, right? We'll never go back to that old normal. I think we will do more virtually. And it was really cool to hear Courtney say, well, now if we have rain, we could do something virtually. We don't have to cancel. So I'm excited about that. I don't know about all of you. Okay, thanks, Courtney. Next slide. So what's going on in our community? We're not going to go to all these links, but again, this will be posted. I think it would be wonderful if you're sitting around one day with somebody from your circle of support or a family member, and you want to go to some of these amazing links. You have our calendar. In my opinion, I would bookmark it. That's what I do on my computer. This way it's easy to find. Don't forget, we don't just post our own initiatives. We post things. Our community connectors are always out there. Sharon and Courtney looking for new and interesting things to do. So take a look at that. We have Road Trip Close to Home, News 12, Mommy Poppins is great. the Newsday Lifestyle. Of course, I know most of you go on Long Island CSS and Friends. I love going on there and reading the conversations. And then there's all kinds of travel and leisure. So I'm excited about this. And I'm hoping that you will come along with us for this journey. Okay, Court.
All right. So fun things.
Now, wait. I have an introduction. And, you know, Darlene was going to do a drum roll. So you ready? Let me introduce the queen of fun, Courtney Braun.
Wow. Well, I've never had that title before, but I'm honored to have it.
Queen of fun. I think people would agree.
I love to hear it. So as the queen of fun, here are some fun things that we can do now. So first of all is, if you're all here tonight, positive community connections. So we will continue to offer free initiatives that meet virtually from now and move to in-person this summer for fall, including Glee, crafting, yoga, and more. You can always visit our website calendar and connections page. This is something that we briefly spoke about last annual meeting. There so many features on that website that people don't know about? Aside from the calendar of events that we have, and we are starting to put in new things that are going on, right? For example, there is an autism dance class that we got the information for, and that's on the calendar with the information that you can contact, and you can join them virtually on Saturday mornings. So we're starting to put things that we are receiving back onto that calendar for you to have an easy place to find it. Our connections page has hundreds of local businesses who are what we call self-direction friendly. They understand our goals, our missions, and what it means to be accepting and understanding of a self-directed lifestyle. You can also go through there, you can plug in keywords such as bowling, right? Then bowling places will come up as self-directed friendly places in your area. So please, please, please don't forget to take advantage of those places. We would like to note that while we're doing our best to make those updates, we always recommend giving a phone call or an email to that location to say, hey, have your hours changed? What is your reopening plan, like Teresa was just saying, and so on, to make sure that you are set up for the best success when you go there. You can find us on social media. Our new pages will be announced soon. That is my plan, to get all of that done this weekend, so that you will be able to still, if you're already following us on Facebook and Instagram, you will still be following our pages. It would just be coming up as positive community connections for you, as opposed to PBS Community Foundation. You can always see what's going on and find photos and video clips of our initiatives and old pictures. It really is a great place. And also, by you interacting with those posts, there is more of a chance that people in our community will be able to see them, and you never know who is looking for something to join. And again, we are always open to suggestions for what activities you want to explore. Hope, I know that you want the Nassau crafting. It is on our minds. We know it for sure. But please, please, please do not hesitate to reach out to me at Courtney@pbscommunityfoundation.org to share. Obviously, that will be changing. It will probably just be Courtney@positivecommunityconnections.org. Again, the Long Island CSS and Friends Facebook group. And if Hope is still here, Hope deserves a little bit of a round of applause for that. She does an incredible job at endlessly sharing information, commenting, asking questions, right? Things that we want to know before we're going into there, which is a great resource. Sorry, I just had someone in the waiting room. I'm letting in. And Friends Chat is on Facebook. So Friends Chat is really, really interesting. It is a group of moms who decided during the pandemic, hey, we need something that's going to happen every night for our young adults to be able to participate in. And they are still hosting their different meetups every single night. So I know that sometimes they have a DJ coming on in from Caffeine Academy. I know that some nights they're doing dance classes. I think they have game nights some nights. So please feel free to reach out. Something that I think that sometimes we get so stuck in, and I was talking to this with my friend the other day, is we have this idea of, oh, I do all these things with one place. Maybe I shouldn't go somewhere else. Go ahead. That is one of the coolest things about networking, making friends, and trying new things, is that you're able to explore those boundaries and, again, make those positive community connections. So maybe you show up to something and you say, hey, do you want to try going to yoga this week with me through PCC? Maybe that person says yes. Right then and there, not only did you network with someone with similar interests, but you shared similar information with someone. Again, please, please, please visit your local park or your beach. If you're on this call, chances are you are from Long Island. We are no more than 15 to 20 minutes away from any body of water. Whether you're driving a little bit further to the ocean, or if you're heading over to the Sound, or you want to take a ride out east, there are so many beautiful, beautiful parks and things that are going on there. You can listen to your favorite music, your podcast, or more while enjoying nature and being safe. We're noticing that people are starting to pack their own picnics for an afternoon out on the town if you prefer not to dine indoors. Northport Village, right, is a great one right on the harbor. Go ahead, stop at your favorite place, take out food, tell your friends, hey, meet me at this time. I'll be over here in this color blanket. And lastly, submit for your New York State Access Pass. So everyone on this call is eligible to receive an Access Pass, which allows you entry into New York State parks and recreational sites. So the only thing that, depending on holiday weekends, or maybe a fee per vehicle, but everyone here is eligible to apply to one and to receive one. So this way you're not paying daily fees to access those New York State passes if needed. So there is a link there as well that when we do share these, you can go ahead, you can fill that out and get yourself an Access Pass. Go to the beach. Don't pay $8 per car. You're entitled to go and enjoy it for fun, which is what we want to make sure we're doing as we're accessing our community. Oh, John, I got a question for you. I'll send to you.
Okay.
It's our man Nicholas saying, so how do I start my own class? Something that I know we always talk about. I always tell you.
On the radar, Nicholas. I haven't forgotten about you.
Yes, yes. So I'm just catching up really quickly. People are saying some great things as well. That they are in Friends Chat. It's very, very similar. They love it. West Meadow Beach, absolutely. Friendship Circle is also a thing that Gabby is sharing with us. Thank you all so much. So Teresa, are we ready to introduce our Reopening Small Steps pandemic plan? So this one is, we're not gonna be able to do this right now because we don't have enough time. But these were worksheets that we can send to everyone through an email. And it's a great opportunity to sit down with your circle of support, your family, your friends, and say, hey, let's really figure out a plan here. Who's in my bubble? What am I comfortable doing in the community? What do I prefer to do at home? What's something that I miss? Maybe how can I start to incorporate that? And what have you already changed in your schedule to adapt to these restrictions? If you are anything like me, change is hard, right? And sometimes we need to allow ourselves a little bit of flexibility in our schedule to enjoy things that do make us happy. So being able to look at there and say, hey, listen, I already grew in this area, right? You're that flower of that positive community connection. You grew in one area. It's okay to be able to allow those things back into your lifestyle, and you have already overcome some things that are definitely hard. So we also have a worksheet that will be sent out for a post-pandemic plan. So what kind of activities would you like to do while accessing your community? How would you use your safety skills to stay safe and healthy? Who can support you in this plan? And how can you remain flexible, right? We want to make sure that we're keeping that flexibility there of always being prepared, right? I saw someone said earlier, oh, their Stop and Shop doesn't require a mask. But know what? Maybe we'll have one on us just in case, right? Being able to adapt to those plans and everything like that to allow us to have more flexibility. So, Teresa, this is what we're talking about, right? I think you went on mute, Teresa. You did. There you go.
Yes, I am unmuted now.
So I'm going to start to unmute some of our self-directed friends who are here right now.
Yes, now.
Oh,
I think your cat visit.
Oh, probably.
Roseanne, I asked you something else in the private chat. And if you look at the private chat, you could see what I said.
Okay. And oh, Courtney, Tal just wanted to, well, I think before we start and open it up to everyone, Tal wanted to give us a word here.
Go ahead, Tal. Tal, you're still muted.
Tal, you're muted.
Tal sent me a little message.
Okay. No, but I wanted to hear first all the questions and let people ask and be free to.
We'll see you after then, Tal.
Right.
We'll see you after. So is everyone unmuted?
Hi, Robin.
We are very interested. We are very interested to hear from you.
What's up, Bob?
Hi.
So let's see. What I'll do is I'll just go around and I'll call on people the way they're coming up on my screen. So Gina, what is something that you can do right now with your friends safely?
FaceTime.
FaceTime? It sounds like someone is like throwing boxes down their stairs. So Gina, did you say FaceTime?
FaceTime, yeah.
Okay, so Gina says FaceTime. Awesome. Tiff, what is something that you can do right now with your friends and feel safe?
Have lunch at a park.
Have lunch at a park. That is awesome.
Oh, Tiffany's here. Excuse me. Could we give a round of applause for our community, our PCC volunteer, Tiffany Redmond? Thank you for all you do, Tiffany.
Thanks.
Were you the one who put together those stuffed animal things for the?
That was Tiffany.
Hope, what is something that you can do right now in the community?
This meeting.
That's
But,
great. Hey, and I'm even gonna say, you put in the chat earlier that you went to the Starbucks for the first time today,
Yeah,
right?
because I had an appointment and I was able to go with my staff, and we went afterwards. We went to Starbucks, and I went to deposit my bottles at the supermarket.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
Excuse
So
me,
there definitely are
Hope,
things.
could I ask you a question? Were there people in Starbucks not wearing masks?
I didn't pay attention. I think when they were eating and drinking, they weren't.
They were when they were sitting down, right?
Yeah, and we sat away from people, and my staff still wore a mask, but I took it off to drink my drink.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Awesome.
Oh, hi,
So,
Michelle.
yeah, we have Michelle.
Ruthann, did you see my chat?
John.
Ruthann?
She
John?
gave you a thumbs up, Hope. She's replying. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mute everyone once we share. So, Michelle, would you like to go ahead and share something that you can do in your community right now?
If we're going back to normal, the COVID-19 pandemic is going to be end next year. Well, it's ending soon.
So, Nicholas, Michelle, we'll come back to you. Nicholas, what is something that you can do in your community right now?
If we're going back to normal, the COVID-19 pandemic is going to be end next year.
Thank you for the update. Nicholas gives the best updates. I do appreciate them. Oh, right. Michelle, what do you think? What is something you can do in your community right now?
Go to the park or the beach with my friends.
That's great. Going to the park, getting the beach with your friends. Awesome job. Nicholas Pusateri, Nick P. What do you think?
Probably some traveling.
That is awesome. And I'm also going to say, and doing your awesome impressions that I'm so fortunate enough to hear all the time, such as Niagara Falls, one of my favorites.
Oh, I'd like to hear it.
What do you think, John?
Ben?
You don't have to do it if you don't want to. It's okay.
Nicholas,
Hey, pal. You call me pal? Why, I haven't heard that word for years. You know, bud, I was once a tramp like you. Oh, congratulations! It wasn't always thus. I can look back to the days of yore when I was a very happy married man. And one day that wreck came and destroyed forever all the happiness I'd ever known. I'll never forget that day. I just came home from the graveyard shift, and there was a note on a pillow. What did it say? Oh, it was one of those cold-blooded notes. Dear Mo, I'm running away with Larry. I was obsessed with the idea that I must find him. The trail led me to Pittsburgh. I found it. I missed him by 3 days when I got there, and I swore right there in Pittsburgh I'd find him and have my revenge. Now on with the chase. Miami, Dallas, New Orleans.
Very nice. I love it.
So going. Nicholas, you can give me Niagara Falls later. Slowly I turn.
Okay. Slowly I turn. Step by step. Inch by inch. I walked up to him and I smashed him. I poked him. I hit him. I cut him to pieces and then I knocked him down.
Oh, step by step. That goes
Nicholas.
right along with
Thank you,
small
Nicholas.
steps. I love it. Give him a hand.
Plus, I have to say, I love the full, this is the first time I ever got the full performance,
Oh,
and I
that's
love it.
beautiful. It goes right along with the presentation. How about Michelle?
So Michelle just went. I just asked Matt Grogan to unmute, and then we have Gabby. Matt, you ready?
Got it. Yep.
Okay.
So, what do you want us to know, Courtney? What we can do right now?
Right now, Macaroon, what's something you can do?
Pretty much, like, I found out that a lot of the streaming services have their own like group parties right now. You can basically do it on Disney Plus now. Netflix has it, and also Facebook. So there's different like, ways how you can like do different events and like watch like movies and everything, kind of like that. I know Facebook is having a lot of like old school like concerts off of Facebook Live, believe it or not.
I think we're talking about looking to get back to normal. So,
Oh, back to normal?
yeah, what did you do yesterday afternoon?
Oh yeah, I had a picnic with my friends yesterday from PL.
Met for pickup.
Picnic.
That is awesome, Matt. Those are some great examples. So I like it how you gave an example of something virtual plus something in person that still makes you happy. Great job. And we have Gabby up next.
Stay 6 feet apart.
Yeah, that's great, right? So I like the way that you really took this things that we can do right now with friends. And I love it how you emphasized your idea of safety first. Right?
Yes.
So I think that you are one step ahead of the game, Gabby, remembering that importance. So awesome job. Really quickly, we're going to give a virtual round of applause for our volunteers who I just prompted to give us answers. So great job, everyone. So our next one are, what are your future small steps? So if you want to, just for time's sake, you can go ahead and you can put an example in the chat if you would like of something that you look forward to doing when you feel safe, right? So for me, I look forward to going to Europe when it is safe. And even though it's saying that you can go right now, I'm going to wait a little bit until I feel safe going there. So there's an example. I'm thinking very big right now, but it's something that I would like to do. Nicholas wants to go to Australia. I didn't know that. Some people are saying that I don't think I'll ever feel safe. And that is 100% fine, right? It's noticing what we are okay with and allowing ourselves to be able to advocate for that. Have a family barbecue, baseball games. These are all great examples. Matt's going to Boston, right? Love it, love it, love it. So a park cleanup, amazing. I know that Hope was really looking forward to going to Disney, and my fingers are crossed for her that sometime soon she will be able to go. People talking about vacationing and travel. So if you haven't noticed, we all have a common theme, right? Something in common, that there are things that we do wish to do, but we are prioritizing our safety there. And that is, again, some of the most important.
And what we'd really love you to do is go to the link on our website, maybe print these out and sit down and make your plan and talk to the folks who surround you in your circle of support and really advocate for yourself about what you want to do and how are you going to make that happen. You know, I think it was Gina that said go to the movies. I mean, my daughter, they rented for $75 a movie theater. It was so bizarre to sit in there and be like, in the whole movie theater, only 6 of us. I really look forward to going into a movie theater and getting popcorn and having everyone there. We all have things that we're looking forward to. So I think it's up to all of us to make it known to the people around us what we really want to plan out.
Good job. And then in conclusion, Teresa and I are going to, when we post this, just have a few more examples of reopening resources for everyone to follow. But again, we just wanted to show everyone that we are looking forward to our future goals in a positive way while connecting to our community and really focusing on supporting each other and an emphasis on safety. So thank you for allowing us a little bit of time to quickly go through something that we think that is important to talk about, right?
Yes,
Reaching out to someone.
Thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure. And if anyone has any questions about anything from membership or the financial, anything that you saw, now is the time to ask. We'd like to totally open the floor for any questions, and we'll see what person could best answer them.
Great. So I'm going to actually go through the running list that I was keeping really quickly. So Gina, I did answer about American Sign Language stuff. And Gina had a question that was called, well, how do people become part of PBS? Does anyone want to take that one on? I don't mind answering, but if anyone wants to go for it, I've been talking for a while. So.
Well, Gina, I think it's great that you are interested in doing that, and we welcome your involvement. If you want to get involved in one of the committees you can email either myself or you can email info@PBS Community Foundation. And I saw that there's some questions about when we're going to change our email and our domain name. Even when we go to info@positivecc.org, it'll get to us either way. So both of those will work, Gina. So if you have a particular interest in fundraising, or maybe you want to get involved in planning events and maybe membership activities, please, we'd love to have you. We'd love to have you. Thank you for asking. And I really hope to hear from you.
Awesome job, John. Thank you.
Yeah.
The next question that I can just take because they're kind of linked together was, how old do you have to be in order to join PBS, and how do you join PBS? So you have to be 18 and up, living a self-directed life. That is something that we do like to be aware of, is that all members are 18 and up. We are a group of adults meeting together in the community. And how do you join PBS? As simple as that. You come to something, you reach out, you send us an email. There is no official way to join other than the memberships that will be coming up in some way, shape, or form, but everyone is welcome. John,
Well,
I see your hand raised.
Right. Well, the question, I don't know, the question might be about how do I become a member in terms of the membership. And those details are being worked out, and we'll have those in place by July 1st. So
Great.
please keep your eyes peeled on our website, the emails, the weekly newsletters. And when the time comes, there'll be an easy way to get on that membership. And if that's what the spirit of the question was, we make sure we record that. I hope we're getting the chat transcript for this recording tonight, because there's lots of great information. I want to make sure everybody that's in the meeting at any point in time, hopefully we can make sure that we're getting them on our mailing list.
Yeah, for sure. That
And-
question
and-
was asked at 6:10. So I think that we covered all bases with that question for us
And I just
before we
wanted to
even jumped in.
I just want to make sure that everybody knew that even though an individual membership is designed for 18 and older, that there's other types of memberships that basically open it up to anybody. Okay,
Awesome.
thank you.
This one is, do you know if you guys have any more shirts, and how will you get them? We're gonna have new shirts, and we're already excited that people are saying, well, how do I get a shirt for the new PCC? So once we have that information, as John was just saying, our social media pages, our website, and most importantly, those email blasts, right? Those are probably going to be pretty good. And speaking of merchandise, Darlene is asking, will charter members get free merchandise? Merch, swag, hope.
Merch and swag. Yep. Possibly. We have to wait and see what we get in for our merchandise, but I'm sure we'll have something special for charter members.
Yes. So Darlene is asking, will membership forms be available on the website?
Yes.
Yes, they will be available on the website. We're looking to perhaps even have you do the registration online on the website. That's really what we're looking at. Again, we're going to get a lot of information out to you so that you'll have plenty of time before July the 1st to get your, and with exact instructions how to go about getting your membership.
Perfect. John, you look like you're thinking, or you.
Well, somebody asked a question earlier, Ms. Holmes, and she's not in the call anymore, but she was asking about will it be direct billing? I think the response came back, no, there's no direct billing at this time. But I just, as a member of the board, I think that's something that, may not be that answer may not be permanent. Right now, there's no direct billing, but direct billing for memberships is quite a bit easier than it is for some other things, because it's the same thing month after month. So if you know Ms. Holmes, Marion Holmes, maybe we can get that message and let her know that even though today direct billing is not something we have in place, that I can't imagine that we wouldn't be looking at doing that, because we want to make it as easy as possible.
It would definitely make it easier.
Yeah.
The next question, the next question that I have is Wednesday walkers happening again. So I think that maybe we combined the idea of Wednesday walkers with Midweek Meetup. So here at PCC, we do host Midweek Meetup, and that will be returning to in-person in the summer. And it is still meeting bi-weekly right now virtually. And if we have any information from our friends over at Wednesday Walkers, of course, we would be happy to share that. But at this point in time, we do not have any information on that and cannot speak on behalf of them. I'm going through the rest of mine, direct billing. And will all of the in-person be in Smithtown? No, Gabby. When we return to in-person initiatives in the summer and fall, initiatives such as Big Time Glee and Crafting Connection do take place in Smithtown, so those ones will stay there. Midweek meetup locations do tend to move all around. Nassau Voice is hosted in Nassau. Tell me the name of it. What town does it start with? What letter? Belmore? I'm seeing a bunch of like random raised hands.
Belmore, yes.
Belmore, got it. Yes, I was like, I think it's, yeah, great. So that's over in Belmore, and yoga will be at Massapequa Pal. And we will be hopefully able to, within the next few years, continue to expand those initiative meeting locations. Roberta, I see your hand. Give me 1 second. I'm just reading through all of these. Will an annual membership be available for people that don't want to do a month-to-month subscription? So being able to pay out the year, is that what you're meaning, Darlene? She's nodding.
Well, I would say that that's something that we are discussing. So that might be a consideration. I don't want to give you a definite yes or no at this point, but that is something that we have been discussing with the membership committee. So we'll certainly, consider that and keep that idea in mind when we put out the final membership information to you this month or next month.
And Roberta had her.
Yeah. So for those of you that are asking about the Nassau County, more activities in the Nassau County connectors, it's not falling on deaf ears. We live in Nassau County, and so we are forever trying to form connections and or vet out locations to hold some activities. So we are working on that. I think you may hear of something kind of exciting coming up by way of collaboration in August. We really are excited to be able to help facilitate that. And Matt's always thinking of it. He comes up with a million ideas a day.
I was trying to, I thought it would be a good idea trying to suspend it out to Nassau, because I thought it would be kind of like why is it always in, why do we do everything in Suffolk most of the time? Why not try to come down the island a little bit more towards Nassau County, so kind of it's a little more in between the boundaries.
So he's using his connections through a couple of organizations that we belong to. So we are sure that we're going to have some good news coming by way of a venue that we can use. And tomorrow night we're meeting with somebody to try to work on that a little bit too. So it's not falling on deaf ears for those of you that are asking, we promise.
And really our goal is to, Long Island is a very long island, right? I mean, we are a big island, and we realize that we don't have a lot on the East End. I mean, John Ennis and I did at one point an emergency preparedness in Riverhead, and we got a few folks, but I think it's going to be interesting to have a garden on the North Fork, because we know there are so many folks who would like to get involved in our initiatives. And we really do want to spread out and have initiatives all over Long Island.
I want to say, I had my hand up. So the Nassau, the need for a Nassau connector, I know that Hope has asked about that early in the meeting. Darlene reiterated, Roberta just spoke to it. Matt is on the case. Just so people know that when COVID hit, that we went really into a financial crisis. And one of the things we had to do was cut down on our staffing expense. And unfortunately, yes, we did lose a Nassau Community Connector. But we hope that through a membership and having a consistent stream of funding that's not reliant on events and fundraisers, that we'll be able to and I'm sure that we'll be able to build back up to a place where not only do we have a Nassau connector, but we might have an East End connector. We might have a Eastern Nassau and Western Nassau. I mean, the initial vision for the foundation was to have a local person in every township on Long Island. So you would have had somebody in Oyster Bay, somebody in Huntington, somebody in Smithtown, somebody in Riverhead. Over time, we realized that that was a bit ambitious, but I do think that that's the ideal, is that we get back to, you have people boots on the ground. So thank you for keeping up the pressure. Hope over these years, you are heard. And if I could wave a magic wand, I would do it. But I really think if we can get some consistent base of funding, that is the direction that the foundation will be able to grow into. I call it it is still a foundation, positive community connections. Let me practice that. PCC, Michelle, Liz, you guys quit laughing at me, okay? I can see you over there. All right. It's been a great meeting tonight. I'm going to mute myself because otherwise I talk too much, but thank you, everybody.
Okay, so I guess it's probably my turn just to conclude. And I prepared a whole, note what to say, but I'm speechless. This has been so well, done just by about everybody, whether it's the speakers, the presenters, which I really would like to thank. It doesn't happen overnight, and we had meetings, and thank you everybody who participated. And thank you all for coming, for being part of it. You inspire me every day. You really make me want to go in the morning and go to a Zoom and another Zoom and really get more knowledge and just how to serve you and how to do more than we can do. I'm very excited about the membership initiative. And I want to thank the membership committee, because this is something that maybe I wasn't so much for it in the beginning, but I think it's a great thing. And I really encourage everybody. It will enable us to create more opportunities for you. So this is something that I really am pushing, and I welcome everybody. And last but definitely not least, I'm so excited about the name. I know it's going to take me a couple of times to say PBS again, but I really love the name, and it's really say what we are all about. So remember, we are here for you, and we are your community. And really have a good night and stay well. And I'm looking forward to see you very soon in person. So thank you, everybody. And we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for coming.